Hi, I'm Pam. I'd like to talk to you about YesPhonics. Um, I met a gal in 1988 in the Republic of Korea who was teaching out of her home for some military students in Korea with their families. It was a small little school with a small budget, and she used something called the Writing Road to Reading by Romalda Spalding. She introduced me to the author and the book for an incredible method of teaching reading, writing, and spelling all at the same time, which was a very foreign concept to me as a public school teacher with that background. And she had taken a course from Romalda Spalding in New York City because Romalda herself thought the best teacher had a lot in her head, and so her book was considered not easy to use, although very thorough. So this friend taught me the very basics of how to use this program. And when I left Korea, she said, just teach your child to read and then put him in any school you want to. And that was the resource I had that started a lifetime of learning for me, as well as teaching my own kids to be independent learners for life. And through that journey, which has now been about 27 years, I was always looking for something to make the writing road to reading a little easier. And it took me a long time to learn that, of course, there is a Spalding Foundation who has really stepped up their game over the years, helping the writing road to reading to become easier to use for teachers. Along the way, I used the Riggs Institute, who made the writing road to reading easier for people to use. And there are several others. These are all considered Orton Spalding methods of teaching to read because of the foundational work that Dr. Samuel T. Orton did, and then because of the work that Romalda Spalding did using the sounds that he created from his research, and she made combinations of those sounds and developed this reading program. All of the books, all of the publishers made it easier. And then I taught for a while in a small classical Christian school. And one year, my boss said, would you help me pick another Orton Spalding program that might not cost me as much to get training for my teachers and would be just as effective and easy for them to use. And so I went on a quest to find an easier program. And that led me to YesPhonics. And I actually found my original rubric that I created with just a few programs. And it's when I found them. And they had all of the criteria we wanted in an Orton Spalding program. And it was a lot easier for the teacher to learn to use because of how it was laid out. We didn't have to send the teachers away for expensive training that took time and money. And YesPhonics adds an element, another mnemonic or memory device to it in the form of what they call keyword captions that go along with the sounds that the children learn. Plus, they have a little art/coloring book where the children can draw the pictures that are associated with the keyword captions too. So that's started my journey with YesPhonics when I offered them a chart that they didn't have in their book that I thought would be easier for teachers to see where they were going and how they were going to accomplish their lesson plans. And then I realized there was a component of young women, young moms, and young teachers who don't have the perspective I have on how hard it was to use the original book. And so I, eventually was asked by YesPhonics to even start creating a step-by-step manual for them, which is still being worked on as I speak. So I have to get going on that. YesPhonics is an excellent Orton Spalding method of teaching your child how to read, write, and spell. learn basic grammar, and learn to read just about anything they need to. It's a complete K through 3rd grade program. It would work for other learners as well, into any age with any difficulty. I used an Orton Spalding method to teach my own children, to tutor many children over the years in our military travels, and to teach, I've taught a lot of parents how to use a system like this. And I am doing the same thing with YesPhonics, and I'm tutoring. I have one student that I tutor right now who's having a lot of difficulty and who's responding very well to the YesPhonics method. And of course, I taught it for about 3 years before I retired from this small classical Christian school. So I hope that you would consider using YesPhonics for your basic reading, writing, spelling needs, and it really will take you way beyond the basics. Thank you.